listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
And welcome to Alive Again on Pet Life Radio. We're so glad you came back to visit us. As you know, we're a weekly show, and we look forward to seeing you each week as you tune into your podcast or the archive and let us teach you about animals. Well, who is this girl talking? My name is Brent Atwater, and I'm an animal medical intuitive. I look inside your pet's body, and we work on your health issues. I can see their bones, their organs, and tissues, and we can determine healing solutions. Now, what I have to do first, though, before I say any of that, is do my propers. This radio show is for informational and entertainment purposes only and is not a substitute for medical advice, diagnosis, or veterinary medical treatment. I am not a medical doctor nor veterinarian, nor associated with any branch of allopathic or veterinary medicine. Always be sure to consult a veterinarian or a trained healthcare professional concerning advice, diagnosis, or treatment for any medical problem or condition. And since I've done my propers, we want to add a few more little notes here. We've had a lot of people say when they try to email us, and you can email your questions to Brent at PetLifeRadio.com, or if you've tried to sign up for us on the internet, you can be sure that we stayed up all night last night, making sure that you can sign up to receive our email notifications of what we're doing on the show today. So go to www.justplainlovebooks.com, hit the sign in for what's happening, and you will see our email alert notice. Then check the boxes that you like, and each week we'll send you notices of what subjects we're going to have on our show. Now, this is segment 11. So if you are listening, you can pass this on to your friends. If you're too shy to call in or to send us an email and you really want a personal consultation, just call our office and Meg will be more than glad to work with you, and we'll hope to answer your questions about your pet's health. Last week, our show was on emails, answering a lot of email questions about animal reincarnation. And what we do with animal reincarnation is I look inside the animal's body and then I track it back to when they were born, through the death, and into the future, and I can tell you what they're going to look like. We'll be doing that next week, so right after our message from this sponsor, we're going to talk to a lady, and we're going to do our show on spinal issues for dogs and cats that are senior citizens.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
Petco, where the pets go. Petco, where the pets go.
Pet Life Radio has tail-wagging, fur-flying, fabulous deals for our listeners from Petco. Get $6 off your order of $60 or more, and up to 40% off the entire Petco site. That's right, but that's not all. Because you're a Pet Life Radio listener, you'll also get free shipping on your order of $49 or more. $6 off, up to 40% off, and free shipping from Pet Life Radio and Petco. To get these awesome deals, go to PetcoDeals.com. That's PetcoDeals.com.
Petco, where the pets go. Dyson.
The new Dyson Animal Vacs are powerful bagless upright vacuums for homes with pets. Air muscle and radio root cyclone technology generates the strongest suction power to powerfully remove dust, dirt, and pet hair from the home or car. To order your Dyson Animal Vac, go to PetLifeRadio.com/Dyson. PetLifeRadio.com/Dyson to order your Dyson Animal Vac today.
Dyson, music to your ears.
Pets can be a wonderful addition to your life because they're a member of the family. Keeping them healthy and happy is important. Pet Life Radio presents The Pet Doctor with veterinary media consultant and veterinarian Dr. Bernadine Cruz. Whether you have a dog, cat, reptile, or rabbit, you'll find answers for your pets straight from the vets. The Pet Doctor, on demand every week, only on PetLifeRadio.com. Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
We're back, and we hope that your pet comes back too, because animal reincarnation is what we do. Now, today our subject is about senior citizens, and we're all going that direction, of the furry kind. And we have Miss Annette calling in. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from England.
Oh, that's a good place. How's the weather over there today?
Grey, mild, typical winter, wet.
Oh, okay. Ew.
Yeah.
Well, that probably exacerbates anybody who's got a little arthritis or back problems. And you're going to tell us about Phoenix, who is your shepherd?
Yes, that's right. We've got
And
Phoenix.
How old is Phoenix?
Phoenix is 11.
Okay. And tell us why you're calling in today to share your story so we can help a lot of folks.
Yeah, I'm calling in because just before Christmas, I noticed that Phoenix was starting to sit down while she was, in the middle of running or walking fast.
Oh, really?
And soon realized that she was actually sort of suddenly paralyzed or lame in the hind legs.
Now, did this was rapid onset? Like, would she be walking and all of her legs would lock up, or what do you mean?
It was just suddenly from the day before where she'd been fine. She's been arthritic for a little while, but never with paralyzed like that. So she's just basically her back collapsed down.
Oh, wow.
But she didn't want to really stop. She tried to carry on moving forward. And it was hard to see because then I didn't know exactly what was going on. Now I know a little bit more. It's not constant. It comes and goes. It's worse on gravel than it is on grass or tarmac.
Now, do you know why? Let me sort of insert, since one of the things we like to do on this show is to insert educational tidbits. And the reason that it is more pronounced on gravel is because her spine is shifting. And when she shifts, the vertebrae rotate and shift within the spinal column and compress the nerve root endings. And that's what creates the exacerbation of the problem when she's walking on uneven surfaces.
Right.
Okay, so go ahead.
Yeah, so she's had acupuncture for the last couple of years to keep on top of her arthritis and just to keep her well in every aspect, really. Mm-hmm. And also, I went to see a chiropractor which practices McTimony method, which is no harsh manipulations. It's very soft, very gentle.
And I want to add something there for our listeners. For those of you who do have animals that have arthritic pain, acupuncture has been around forever, and what it does is it interrupts the pain signal in the energy meridians, and that does help alleviate pet pain and is one of the up-and-coming therapies for pets. Now, as far as chiropractic work is concerned, before you take any animal, dog, cat, horse, any animal, to a chiropractor for manipulation, be sure that they don't have fractured vertebrae or a compressed disc so that it compresses the nerve root endings, because one manipulation could completely paralyze your pet. So it's critical, and that's the word here, critical, that you make sure before you have any chiropractic adjustments to your pet that you have an MRI scan, that you let me look inside their body, or you have a CAT scan or an X-ray, so that all of a sudden a simple little manipulation doesn't turn into a complete paralysis. Okay, go ahead.
So we did that, and I have given her for a while omega-3 supplement, a Spirogreen, which is like a multivit really for dogs, and a few other bits and pieces. But when this happened, I started with some homeopathic remedies, arnica, Rustox, Rutagrav, and found something called Pet Heal, a pre-blended remedy really, consisting of different things to help animals after surgery or if they've got injuries or have pain.
Thank you for letting me jump in here. One of the things I want to point out to those who are listening is a lot of times animals, and here's the key word, suffer from their owners loving them. And what does that mean? When you work with alternative therapies, a lot of owners feel that more is better. Well, if I give the dog a little arnica, more arnica would make him feel better. And if I give the dog a little more of this Chinese herb, more will make him better. Well, let me tell you what more does. It kills them, because herbs and supplements are very powerful raw materials, and they are some of the foundations for the medicines that the allopathic world uses. It is my suggestion that when you have spinal issues, like when my dog fell, broke his disc, and compressed his spinal cord nerve, so he was quadriplegic dog. One of the first things you need to do on any spinal cord injury is to stabilize the animal. don't let them move around a lot, and to have an anti-inflammatory. Now, I know all of you that are listening that work in complementary therapies and alternative therapies, and you want to be giving the herbs and the supplements, right now is really not a good time to do that, in my opinion only. And anything I say, if it doesn't resonate with you, then just okay. But if it does resonate, here's what you want to do. God in the universe put traditional veterinary medicine on the earth for a reason. It's so that you can have benefit of both. You can have the veterinary medicine and the herbal and the alternative and integrative therapies. One of the first things you need to do in spinal issues is to reduce the inflammation, because the more the bone, the bulging disc, or the surrounding tissue swells, it will create more of a paralytic effect. And a lot of times dogs are put down or cats are put down because they appear to be paralyzed, when in fact it's just an inflammatory response, and the inflammation has not been removed. Had it been removed, then the animal would have been in less worse shape, and you wouldn't have had to send the dog to the other side. So the first thing to do is to stabilize the animal and go on anti-inflammatories. And this is not a time for herbs, because you need a medicine that goes in there and works. And as the dog is recovering and they are more stabilized, or the cat is recovering and they're more stabilized, then at that point in time you can gradually add herbs and alternative supplements, because at that time most herbs and alternative supplements take a while to build up in the bloodstream. And as they're building, you can be taking the animal off the other supplements that you did for the spinal cord issues. And this is really critical, because when an animal is overexcited, and they're basically scared because their limbs aren't working, you don't want to be putting a lot of excess medicine or strange supplements into their body, because they have enough to handle in their energy field with just the fact that their legs aren't working and they're an animal and they respond by fight or flight. So you're dealing with emotional issues that the herbs and the medications are also kicking in to the excess energy of the emotional effect of the paralytic effects or the damage done in the spinal cord issue. So be very careful about adding a lot of excess medications during this time. Okay, go ahead. I'm through on my soapbox.
Yeah, no, that was good. I just have a question now then.
Go ahead.
For Phoenix. I need to stop all that. I understand that. But what about the omega oil, the food supplements supplement for arthritis, which is glucosamine, chondroitin, turmeric?
That's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
After a spinal cord injury, it's most important that the anti-inflammatory, in my opinion only, and for those of you who don't, agree, I totally understand. But at that point, we want to spend the first 10 days on a veterinary anti-inflammatory, and then we can wean them off very slowly so that we can assess the damage properly instead of making a misdiagnosis because the herbal or supplement systemics have not built up. So the rest of this, you can keep her on the vitamins and everything. Now, here's what I also would do. Anytime anybody is giving an animal a supplement or an herbal additive, one of the things that we want you to be sure you do is to go on, I think it's vetdrugs.com, and look and see if there's any reactions for an interaction between the drugs. And just like in humans where you have drug interactions, animal have drugs interactions with herbs and herbal supplements. And I believe it's on, there's a vet site that you can go and put the supplements that you're giving your animals in and the allopathic drugs that you're giving your animal in. And that way you can see if there will be any interactions that will be deadly.
Yeah.
Because deadly is what we don't want.
Well, like I said, kill with kindness. I don't want to do that. I want to be kind, but I want to know really what I'm doing, and this really put things in perspective in that respect. So thank you very, very much.
Oh, you're welcome. Now let's go back to, and she is doing this on an intermittent basis, right?
Yeah. And I see it doesn't seem that she does it when she's more tired or not. It just comes and goes. I can't see any pattern yet. I really don't.
Well, when an animal has a spinal cord issue that comes and goes, that usually means it's either a disc issue or a vertebrae that is slipping on the disc or is moving at an angle that is compressing a nerve root. Because if a nerve root is compressed completely or severed, then it's automatic paralysis unless you regenerate the nerve. If it is a coming and going thing, then that's usually a nerve root compression issue where the body turns one way and a certain angle puts more pressure on that nerve. And then if it turns another way, it releases it. So you could be taking 4 steps forward and the 5th step fall over and the back end doesn't work. Another problem that you have with older dogs sometimes is they have neurological problems where when you think it may be a spinal cord issue, it could be a neuropathy problem so that their brain is, like my dog couldn't feel his whole right leg. And it was more about a neurological connection as he was aging. So one of the things that you want to rule out in senior pets is that it's not a neurological problem, but like Phoenix, it's a spinal cord issue rather than a neurological issue. But be sure, if you have the ability to do so, to rule out both because they are treated completely separately. Now, for those of you who are interested in learning about animal medical intuition and how to handle things like that, we're going to talk about that right after we come back from the break. Here's our sponsors.
We'll transport back into the metaphysical right after these earthly words from our sponsors.
Every pet is unique. Maybe they're gray in the muzzle, yet young at heart. Maybe they're growing out of the puppy stage and into their paws and ears. Or maybe they're just trying to maintain a more girlish figure. At PetSmart, we have the right food for your pet at a great value for you. PetSmart. Be better together.
Go to PetLifeRadio.com/PetSmart and save up to 30% on toys, collars, leashes, PetSmart gift cards, treats, and more. Go to PetLifeRadio.com/PetSmart today.
How would you like your business to reach out and invite in our audience? We have a brand new trademark concept called InfoSeeds. InfoSeeds are short 20-second seeds of information about your place of business, practice, or service. Is the best, most cost-effective way to invite us in. We only have a limited number of slots left. For more information, visit the website
PetLifeRadio.com.
Click on sponsorship information. There you can listen to a sample of InfoSeed. Remember, only a limited number of opportunities are available.
Love your pets but wish their medications were a lot less expensive? They are at 1-800-PET-MEDS. You'll not only save on flea and heartworm medications, but on prescriptions for arthritis, incontinence, thyroid, and more. And you get fast service, free shipping, and a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Plus, our licensed pharmacists ensure accuracy, monitor drug interaction, and more. See why over 5 million people have trusted their pet's health to 1-800-PET-MEDS, America's largest pet pharmacy. Call now or order online.
Go to PetMeds.com/Lucky, LUCKY, to get 10% off any order and free shipping on orders of $39 or more at PetMeds.com.
Welcome to Sassy Seniors, a show about our fabulous older dogs and cats. I'm your host, Kelly Jackson. I wanted to create a show to really showcase our senior pets. And, as the human population ages and lives longer, of course, so are our wonderful pets. But many of us with aging pets, it's so interesting. We have a tough time realizing or really admitting that they are seniors. So, in a way, I kind of like to think of our senior pets as wise puppies. What do you think about that? Be sure to join us for another edition of Sassy Seniors. And remember, celebrate your senior pets.
Every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
We certainly do thank all of our sponsors who are helping us promote animal health and helping us expand awareness with animal reincarnation. Now, if you would like to send your questions in, send them to Brent at PetLifeRadio.com. And if you want to read our books on animal reincarnation, go to www.justplainlovebooks.com. And if you want to learn how to look inside an animal body, if you have the gift of medical intuition or you think you might be an energy healer that would like to see inside animal bodies, our book, Animals Medical Intuition, How to See Inside an Animal's Body to Diagnose Disease, will be coming out in several months, and that is on www.justplainlovebooks.com. So, Annette, what are questions else do you have about Miss Phoenix over there?
Well, my main question is, what can I do to help Phoenix?
Oh, one of the things that you can do, and this is for those of you who are interested in the energetics of it. When you're regenerating spinal cord nerves, you can stop, and you can also do this for seizures. So any of you who have animals who have had seizures, you take your hand, it would be your right hand, which is your sending hand, if you are right-handed. If you are left-handed, it would be your left hand. Take your right hand and put it at the base behind Phoenix's ears. And I wish you could see Phoenix, folks. She is absolutely a gorgeous long-haired shepherd and the biggest brown eyes you have ever seen. She's just an absolute love bug. And she is allowing us to do this today so that hopefully we can help your pets at home. You take your hand and spread it out like a comb with about 1 inch to 1/2 inch between each finger, and you place it at the back of her skull. And very slowly you slide your hand going from the skull to the base of the tail down her body. And when you get to the base of the tail, you flick your hand as if you're flicking off water. Well, really what you're flicking off is pain energy and energy that is aberrant. And so for those of you who work in animal healing or TTE or any of the other healing touch for animals, this is one of the methods you do. But when you go into an animal's energy field, and this is really important and critical, folks, always go into an animal's energy field at a 45-degree descent, because animals live on intuition and animals are extremely energy sensitive. I mean, how many of you ladies out there have ever had your mother say, "How'd your cat like him?" Or those of you who are sons say, "Well, did your dog like him when your buddies come by?" Animals have that sense that they know what's happening and they understand the energy around them and are very aware. So when you go to pat a dog like pat, 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 and you do it flat-handed, you are actually slapping their energy field. So one of the things you want to do is glide in at a 45-degree angle and put your hand behind their head and very slowly pull the energy down their spinal cord. And when you get to the base of their tail, flick. Now, what this does energetically, it's like a form of you are doing the acupuncture. You pull your hand down the back of the animal and flick, and you are smoothing out the pain energy, and you are reconnecting the electromagnetics of the neural pathways, because all neural pathways are electromagnetics. When I regenerate nerves in animals, like I did in my dog when he fell, and that, if you want to see that, is on Dr. Daniel Benor's site. He has the whole section and documentation of where I regenerated my dog's spinal nerves. I did that on an ongoing and intermittent basis because you don't want to shake up their energy too much. So you don't want to be combing the dog all day long. Once or twice a day, and then let it rest for a day, because every time you work with an electromagnetic field in an animal, even with his little feetsies, you are shaking up their whole life force energy. Now, this is different than Reiki, because Reiki is a much smoother, lighter frequency passing, from your hands to the animal. This is messing, or not really messing is the word, this is affecting the animal's electromagnetic pathways, which are the nerve signals in their body. And sometimes those who have had spinal cord issues with their pets, you'll hear the animal yelp, because truly it's hurting. It's like sometimes you'll have a twinge where you'll get a little sharp stabbing pain inside of you when you pinch a nerve. Well, that's what the animal's feeling. Now, if you get too much whelping, then it's best that you don't do that, but say maybe cover 3 inches and stop. And the next day cover 3.5 inches and stop. And you do it incrementally. Now, for those of you who are sensitive in your hands and can feel energy, and for those of you who are not, one of the things you want to do prior to working with your animals, if you rub your hands together until they feel warm, then you have activated all the nerve endings in your hand. And when you put this over your dog at the back of his head, at the base of his skull, remember, you're entering at a 45-degree angle, stay about 1.5 inches or 2 inches above their body, because their energy field radiates out and you're dealing in the field that is outside of their body, so you will comb very carefully and get to the tail and flick. Now, what this does, it redistributes the pain. It can take the pain out. And this is one of the methods that I use when I'm regenerating spinal cord nerves, because all nerve regeneration is taking the electromagnetics of one end of a broken neural pathway and the other end of a broken neural pathway. Think two sparklers here, like on each end, and in the middle is a big gap. Well, that's what a broken neural pathway is like. So what you're doing when you comb over this and smooth the energy through is you are creating think of it as a bridge between the two either compressed or damaged neural pathways. And in time, that bridge becomes part of the neural pathways. And that's why people who have strokes do repetitive motions over and over and over again. And that's why when you continuously comb very smoothly and flick, you are encouraging the two ends of the neural pathways to eventually join and create that bridge so that you restore the function to the nerve and remove the pain, because you are smoothing out the aberrations of the energy surrounding the neural pathways that are creating the pain. So don't be upset, Annette, if when you're doing this, Phoenix all of a sudden might go, oh! Well, if she does, just lay your hand down flat and it'll be okay. But this will help you reestablish and smooth out her nerve endings while she's going through this. And then what we'll do at a later date, we'll look inside and we'll see what's jiggling around and how we can help her more.
Yeah, brilliant. Just one question, though.
Yes, ma'am.
When you said to stay 2 inches above the body, does that go for the combing as well? So
that's where you want to be. You want to be your combing. When I do combing and I'm regenerating nerves, I comb no lower than an inch.
Okay.
Because sometimes the dog is so, and when I can look inside the animal and I can see that there is so much stress going on, sometimes I'll back up even more, because the closer you are to the body, the more intense the energy exchange is.
I'm glad I asked that then, because you see, I was thinking to put my fingers in her fur and comb her down her spine.
No,
I won't do that.
Because then you could cause her, and you could set off seizures that way.
Ooh.
Not good. So, no, you want to hover your hand about an inch to really 2 inches is better for when you're first starting to do this, over her body and come down. Now, you can have one finger touch her if you want to balance it on her body, just, slide down her body very easily. But for those of you who are trying to run energy and you don't know what you're doing, you can set your dog into seizures by doing this incorrectly. Right. So that's not something you want to do. And what we're trying to do is to stabilize her. Now, another way for an animal to take the pain away from them is to hold their feet and to say, I ask, and it is my intent through the love in my heart to remove any and all pain energy now, forevermore, and always. And what you're doing by holding their paws is you are acting as a pain dialysis. And you want to be barefooted when you do this, and you want to, like I would hold my dog's rear end feet, I call them feetsies, his feetsies, and I would say, I ask, and it is my intent to be, for friend, to be pain-free from the love. I ask, and it is my intent from the love of my heart to send you my energy for friend to be pain-free. And you'll feel like you're buzzing. If you're energy sensitive, that your body will buzz a little bit, but really what you're doing is you're acting as a pain dialysis for your dog. And for those who want to try this, I really suggest that you don't do this more than twice a day, because it'll wear you out, because really they're sending their pain energy through you.
Yeah.
And it could make you sick, because animals' frequencies are lower than human frequencies. And so it's a matter of bringing your body down to an unhealthy frequency level.
So again, less is more, like you're saying.
Less is more. And later on, we'll be talking about an IV drip, which is something when you have really seriously ill animals that we work with. But that'll be on another show. So right now, we're going to go to our sponsor, and we'll be back.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
I Love My Pets, the new single by Mark Winter, available on iTunes.
How would
would you like your business to reach out and invite in our audience? We have a brand new trademark concept called info seeds. Info seeds are short 20-second seeds of information about your place of business, practice, or service. We only have a limited number of slots left. For more information, visit
PetLifeRadio.com.
Click on sponsorship information. There you can listen to a sample of info seed or email us at
PetLifeRadio.com.
Remember, only a limited number of opportunities are available.
This year, Americans are expected to spend a jaw-dropping $36 billion on their pets. From lighted leashes to high-end spa products, the discriminating pet owner can find just about anything to pamper his or her pet. Hi, this is Michelle Fern. Join me every week for Best Bets for Pets, where we'll talk about the latest pet products and talk to the companies that make them. Best Bets for Pets, every week, only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Now we're going to ask if Annette has any more questions, and have at it.
One last question, please, Brent. And
Okay.
what about exercise? Do I need to control her? Will she know herself? Because, sometimes it doesn't look like it. Even if she goes weak, she wants to carry on. So.
Well, one of the things that I would highly suggest to those of you who do have senior pets, they all have the will to go, as most of us do as we get older, but then the body has restrictions. And I really think that until she is pronounced stabilized by your veterinarian, that any protracted activity, like major running after, like my dog does a ball, and he would crawl to chase a ball. I think continuous exercise is a good thing if your animal can walk, because you need to have the muscle tone there. And I would think more about walking her on flat surfaces so that you're not impinging on any nerve roots as you're going forward. And I wouldn't really let her chase the ball until we get this situation completely stabilized, because she could take one leap. And there have been many agility dogs that have leaped for a frisbee or done an agility leap, and they've stretched so far that it literally snaps their spine. And some of the frisbee dogs have passed away that way. So when your dog is showing signs of spinal cord inconsistency or it's not stable, then at that point in time, it's time to reshift and rethink their physical life pattern, because usually a spinal issue is a forever pattern, especially with an older animal. And it just means rethinking ways of enjoying her and consistently providing exercise so they keep their muscle tone up, but taking out the things that could be harmful that previously weren't.
Yeah, makes sense. Again, thank you so much.
Well, we appreciate you calling all the way in from England and staying up tonight to talk with us, and we will look forward to updates on Phoenix's behavior. We want to thank Annette and Phoenix for sharing with us today and allowing us to teach you ways to deal with your senior pet's spinal issues. If you've enjoyed our show, do like us on Facebook. It's called Alive Again. We have a whole page, and we have a lot of interesting information on that page. We also are on Twitter. You can find our books at www.justplainlovebooks.com. They're on iBooks and all the major ebooks around the world. Now, if you have a question, please send us your email at brent@PetLifeRadio. Thank you so much for your time in listening with us, and we invite you to listen to all our podcast and archive shows. There's a wealth of information in them. So until next week, we'll see you then.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.